All right, we're going to bring out our first guest. She is the National Director of Vocal. Please welcome Mary Kendall. And I said it right. Hey, oh! Hey, Mary, you said your name right.
Yes.
Boy, I have a problem with names. You're vocal. Now tell me what that means, vocal.
Victim of child abuse laws.
Okay, and which is a great cause.
Yes.
There's always something going on where you see children being abused and that sort of thing going on, and
Right.
sex trafficking and all that sort of thing.
Yes. Vocal, what we do is we are like liaisons for families who are dealing with children's services who have false allegations against them, and we work to try to save the family if it's savable. We go to meetings with them with the children's services and try to help the family with any of the other community-based services that are needed.
And how do you find these children? Do people contact you, or how do you?
People find us word of mouth. We've been around since the mid-1980s, and we just go to the home, talk to the family, see who the caseworkers are, go to the meetings, see what we can do to save the family if it's possible. And if we find any abuse, we give our information to the police because we don't want to be involved in children being abused.
Usually cooperative with the families when you go to the families. Everybody's cooperating, trying to get things done that need to be done. Or do you have any people saying, I don't know if we want to do this, or there's never that problem?
The people, meaning people, the authorities, children's services. Well, actually, there are a lot of children who are taken who should not be taken. And you can avoid that by really doing a proper and fair investigation of the case. And it should involve law enforcement.
Did you watch the news today before you came here?
No, I did not.
Well, I'm sorry, it wasn't the news. It was Dr. Phil, the family that had that little boy locked in the closet. He was 5 years old. And they went to the authorities, and they said they couldn't go in there without proper paper. And the kid had been with his family. The father and a stepmother, they had 3 other kids, kept this boy locked up in a closet for 2 years.
They should have gone to their congressman.
Yeah, something.
That's right.
They should have gone to their congressman.
That's exactly right. Whoa.
Now, it's a great thing you're doing. How did you get involved in all this?
Well, it's called victim of child abuse laws, and many of us are victims of child abuse laws, false allegations against them, and I had them against me 15 years ago. Of course, they were unsubstantiated, and but it really affected my family. The fallout was terrible. And I couldn't figure out how someone like me, who has no felonies, who's never been in trouble, who was just your basic soccer mom, how this happened to me. Yeah, and it turned out that it was just because of, I was getting a divorce. And my husband's lawyer said, well, if you want custody, full custody of your children, then you're going to have to prove this mother unfit. So here come the false allegations, and was encouraged by the attorneys to do so. So he did. Of course, it was unfounded, but by then the damage was done. And I kept thinking, well, how did this happen? So I got into school and educated myself to figure out what's going on. And then I met Albert Risch from Vocal, National Vocal, and he's the national investigator. And he showed me how it could happen and how it relates to funding. Your Adoption Safe Family Act gives a lot of federal funding for these cases. And it's like any other federal money. If you don't spend it 1 year, it's gone the next. So we found a lot of caseworkers were creating cases to get the funding. I can back anything I have to say up with documents.
That is
Good for you.
And newspaper articles. Yes, we went into Butler County talking about the trafficking. There's sex trafficking in foster care. It's a very real thing. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's very real. We had the Billingsley case in 1998 to 1999 where children were put in his home. He and his partner were having sex orgies with eight boys. And it was very tragic. And the way we found out was through our rallies. Our investigator went down to the county because a woman had contacted him and said all these things were going wrong. It just sounded so crazy. So he goes down there and has a rally. And all these parents are coming saying, my child's being sexually abused. My child's being sexually abused. So he's like, okay. Started taking their names. So let's put a star next to every name who their parent is saying their child's complaining of being sexually abused. So we got all the parents together and realized all these kids are in the same foster home. So that's how they busted the situation.
Wow.
Well, he ran out the back door because the court let him out, because by the time they caught up with this guy, the allegations had been run out of time. The statutes ran out of time where they couldn't prosecute him. So our investigator said, oh no, you're not going to do that. And he went to the FBI and said, you have got to go catch this man. Yeah. So by the time they caught up with this man, he ran from Kentucky, Missouri, and California and raped and killed children along the way. They caught him and they were going to send him back, but he hung himself in jail.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, it's great work you're
Point blank.
doing.
Right.
And,
so it does happen, and
just keep it up. I mean, we need this. I mean, you know,
it
we
is
need
needed,
this.
and we keep, and that we're a nonprofit, and we're always open for funding and donations, because that's how we help our families.
Sure.
I can send what we call our A-team. I'm going to send somebody to your town. We're going to spend a week there, we're going to help you go through your court documents. We're going to meet your lawyer. We're going to help your lawyer. We're going to investigate the family. We're going to go to Children's Services to hear all sides and see what we come up with, because we're looking for solutions to fixing this problem.
Sure.
You can cry all you want, but what are you going to do to fix it?
Right.
So we try to get in, and we work with the community, with the commissioners, and the law enforcement to better the community.
Great.
And there are some children's services that work with us, and the others aren't too sure about us, but we would really like it if they would welcome us more to save the families. And on the child trafficking, there's a book called The Franklin Scandal by Nick B-R-Y-A-N-T, Brandt, and that can explain and show you how it is actually happened and happening for many, many years.
Sure. Well, thanks for coming and explaining.
Wow.
Thank
You're
you
doing
for
great
having
work.
me.
We need more like you.
Thank you. And
Because I know I can tell just by telling you're dedicated. We need more people to help you do what you do.
Absolutely.
And thanks for coming. I appreciate that.
thank you so much for giving me the chance to talk about it.
Absolutely.
I'm thanking you because we're all educated to find out what's going on. I think some people live out in the dream world. This isn't going on, and you know it is, and I know it is.
I just want to
Just
say,
watch the news.
I just want to say real quick
Yeah.
that, like being that we look for solutions to problems, well, if they would stop the out-of-state adoptions, it would be easier to track these children.
Okay.
Okay, and then the agencies that are doing the out-of-state adoptions into like Texas, Ohio, we've got some kids coming in with a private agency. Well, the county agency is asked if they want to observe the adoption. Well, they don't have to. It's not mandatory. So the private agency, nobody knows what's going on over here. There's no second check. There needs to be a lot of check and balance in the system in all avenues of this, and that can really avoid a lot of it. I just wanted to say
Well,
that
thank
much.
you, Mary.
Good
Thanks
for
a
you.
lot.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You've educated us all. Thank you.